Obviously, great win. Anytime you get an SEC win, it's a great win. For us to start 4-0 for the first time since 2016, that was huge. Obviously, for us to go out and play defense the way we did today and win us a game multiple times, I thought that was a really, really impressive job by that side of the ball, the staff, the players. And again, when you want to be a complete team, there's times where you're going to have to carry the other side. What I told the guys in the locker room was, when we went up to South Bend and we weren't playing great on defense, offensively, we made all the plays we needed to make. Today, we weren't really in sync on offense, but on defense, we just kept going out and kept making all the plays we needed to make to go out there and win a football game, and that's a credit of a good football team. Offensively, we did a good job running the football. That's a really good running team. We ran the ball for over 200, or run defense. We ran the ball over for over 200 yards. We were efficient in the throwing game. We create too many penalties. It's got to get fixed. It's way too many penalties that kill drives. It's way too many penalties that set us behind the sticks. And then if you put that together with not being able to convert third downs, that's how you have 414 yards and not nearly enough points for what 414 yards should get you. And then our special teams, we have to get cleaned up immensely. Too many penalties, too many bad kicks. And so we're happy. We're 4-0. We did the things we needed to do to win today, and I just think the ceiling for this team is a lot higher if we could figure out how to go put four quarters together. And so that'll be our challenge heading into next week. So from there for questions.
Coach front right, Carter.
Mike, when you win an ugly game like that with a lot of penalties and self-inflicted errors, are the emotions more just relieved and happy to win a game like that, or are you more frustrated about some of those errors?
Yeah, we can't have it both ways. So we can't be mad when we win high-scoring games and then mad when we win low-scoring games, and we can't have it both ways. And so we made a lot of mistakes today. We didn't do things that we needed to do on offense to be successful, but defensively we played lights out, and defensively we made an awful lot of stops, and ultimately that won us a football game.
Coach to the right, Olin.
Yeah, Mike, if I could ask a couple things. First of all, how did y'all shut down Cam Coleman? I think he only had 4 catches for 18 yards, one of the best receivers in the country, and you're able to, really neutralize him.
Yeah, obviously he had a huge night against us last year. That obviously creates a sense of pride to not allow that to happen again. I think we tried to pay a lot of attention to him from a cover standpoint, doubling him, helping in that direction, and we were able to execute that at a really good level today. And so, I thought the way we executed the plan on defense was really good, and I think if we do that, we have a chance to be really good on defense.
Do you ever have some feelings of lack of a better way to put it, dread or whatever, that the self-inflicted wounds were going to come back and haunt you, or were you that confident in your defense that you are going to continue to be able to turn them away?
Yeah, it's the same thing. When we went to South Bend, I didn't have doubts that we wouldn't be able to score enough to win, and today I didn't have doubts that we wouldn't be able to stop them enough to win. We led start to finish in an SEC football game against a team that was 0-1 and had their backs against the wall, and so I'm not going to apologize for that.
Coach front left, Travis.
Mike, is there any root-based cause when you have a game like this that has so many penalties, or any commonalities between so many penalties?
I don't know what the root-based cause is. If I knew what the root-based cause is, we would fix it.
And was this a game that you felt like the run game could open up and really have the success they had today?
Yeah, we ran for 200. We threw for 200 in an SEC game against a really, really good SEC defense. And so, again, I think that we showed what we're capable of. We have to figure out how to clean up our play.
Coach to the left.
Hey, Coach. I was wondering what the play calling process was on the 3rd-and-1 pass that Marcel eventually threw the interception on. What made you want to throw it on that one? Yeah, we were just trying to throw it out there to a quick screen to try to get the 1.5 yards. It was closer to 2 than it was 1. It was not a 1 yard. We felt like it was 1.5 yards, and we felt like they were going to play man coverage out there. We felt like we were going to be able to pop one and block the guy covering him man to man, and the ball was a little off and obviously got tipped and intercepted and didn't go the way we hoped it would.
Coach to the right, Christy.
Does anybody want to ask a question about us being 4-0 for the first time since 2016, or how did the defense bounce back, or how about you held them to 176 yards on offense and you had 5 sacks and they were 0 for 12 on 3rd down and 0 for 2 on 4th down and you got the return game going again? I don't mean to sound like someone else, but my gosh, will you guys stop being so dreadful and gloomy?
Well, we're only halfway through this.
Yeah. Next one.
I was actually going to, not just because you said it, to be 4-0 for the first time in a long time.
A long time.
Yeah. What does that say about your program and where you guys are headed?
Yeah, we've won 2 games without playing our best football, right? And that's a testament to character, culture, and just grinding out wins. Again, that won't last forever. That's not lost on me. But I do think when you go find different ways to win, one game you throw the ball, one game you run the ball, one game you win on offense, one game you win on defense, it gives you an opportunity to go out and win and sustain success over long periods of time. And again, our defensive kids stood up today and made an awful lot of stops and helped us go out there and win a football game.
What is having Moss back done for your team this year, and just the way he's able to kind of grind it out for you guys whenever maybe the passing game isn't going as well as you'd like?
Yeah, he's an elite player. He's an elite running back. He was last year. He is this year. It kind of went under the carpet a little bit that he was leading the SEC in rushing at the point in which he got injured. And so that's not easy to do. And so it's a testimony to him. I think he's a really, really good player. And obviously, when you're in the SEC, it takes a little something extra to be able to run the ball efficiently against these defensive lines that we play against. And so for him to average over 6 yards a carry, which is a positive, that's a really good thing for everybody out there. That's good.
Coach front left, Mark.
Coach, two-parter. One, can you talk a little bit about the offensive line and their performance, especially in the running game against a line that was only giving up like 54 yards a game before this one?
Yeah. 54 a game, and we went for over 200. Good question, Mark. Thank you. I just we're just making lazy mistakes, and that's, I think, what's killing us. I think when they get their pads down and they get underneath people, they're capable of moving people. And maybe to some degree, the veteran group has relaxed a little bit, and we've got to turn the heat back up. But when they want to go out there and move people, they can do it, and they did it for the most part today.
And can you recall a game where your defense went out and basically threw a shutout on 3rd and 4th downs?
Yeah, I think I think you have to look. Obi would know this one. I think if you go back to Ole Miss 2018, I think we pitched a shutout that day, if I'm not mistaken. But and there might be one more, maybe LSU 2020. But it's not rare. It's rare, and so it was a good day.
Coach
Obi's
to
going
the
to look it up for us.
Coach to the right, 3rd row.
Huh?
It wasn't 18.
18?
In 2018.
Yeah.
Ole Miss had y'all won 38-24.
Yeah. What was their 3rd down? He asked Obi.
3rd down.
They were 1 of 11.
Yeah. Okay. They had 1. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, what did you add to Marcel's plate in the offseason, and what do you think about his performance after the heroics in Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, I think he had a good day. He was 15 to 22. He was much more accurate today than he was against Notre Dame. Obviously, had another deep ball that we'd like to have back. They did some different things pressure-wise that I don't think we handled really well. Kind of put that on the staff and on myself for that. Caused him some problems with pressures in his face. That was some of the 3rd down issues that we ran into. But again, I think he was 15 to 22 today. We didn't put a lot on him because of the amount of blitzes we we felt like they were a little bit more susceptible to the run, and we wanted to do that, and so we tried to grind it out a little bit more through the run game.
Coach to the left, Alex.
With Scooby out, what'd you see just from Torian stepping up and the 3 other guys that were in that other spot?
Yeah, hard to see individual performance. Obviously, Torian flashed a bunch, and so obviously he made the big sack on the second to last drive that kind of put them behind the chains and really put them into a tough position to be able to get that drive going. Thought he made a huge play on a screen early in the game that could have been a big one that I thought he diagnosed really well. Thought he commanded the game really, really well. 1 sack, 2 TFLs, had a really, really strong game, and he flashed. In terms of the other guys, I just didn't. If they don't make real big flash plays, it's kind of hard to judge that on the field.
And you mentioned the ceiling of this team. If you guys can clean up some of the things that have troubled y'all in different ways the last couple of games, what do you think the ceiling of this team actually is?
Yeah, it's high. I mean, it's really high. I think if we could figure out how to put together a full 4 quarters and play at the level that we're capable of, I think we have a high ceiling. I think we have the opportunity to put something together this year. It's got to be one game at a time. We've got to have a growth mindset all the way through it. We're going to have a big challenge next week, a night game, blackout, Mississippi State coming in here. And so we got to go back to work and keep working to become what we're capable of becoming.
Fourth row, Sam.
Mike, you want the gloomy one or the good one first?
Whatever you got, Sam.
First one on the deep balls with Marcel. Is that just a rep thing? Is that a timing thing? What do you pinpoint to kind of get that?
I think
contract?
honestly, what happens, I think he sees it and he speeds up, and he just won't like slow down. Like if he slowed down, put a little bit more air on it, that's what we're trying to get him to do. I think what happens is he comes out and he sees it, and he gets very excited, and then everything speeds up, and that's what kind of causes the overthrows. And so he's working on it. We're working on it. He'll get better. He'll make the throws he needs to make.
And after that turnover, it would be very easy for everybody to go haywire, to panic.
Like
What
you
is
guys
this?
did.
What does it say about the poise of your team, and who on that team, or how many guys on that team kind of show the poise in that moment to not let that snowball into something else?
Yeah, I think that should be the story of the game. I think the story of the game at Notre Dame was offensively, we never blinked, and as everything got thrown at us, we found a way to keep going out there and making plays, and the touchdown gets called back, and we still go out and put a drive together to win the football game. Today, we didn't do anything on offense to help us in the second half, and that will happen at times in this league. You're going to play times where you play teams that are really good on defense, and yet defensively we didn't flinch at all. And so, okay, short field, touchdown, one-score game, whatever. Give them the ball, go right back out, 3 and out. Give them the ball, right back out, 4 and out. That's the culture that you want to see from your players. You want to see them go out there and try to play winning football and win football games, and they did that today.
Coach to the left, Matthew.
Coach, so much was said about the team's ability to defend the run, and then you go out there and face the SEC's second leading rusher. What does it mean to go out there and hold them to only 28 yards on the day?
Yeah, again, I think when we play together as 11, we can be good. I think there have been times where we have been significantly better on defense this year. We've had breakdowns that have caused issues. Today we didn't. We didn't give up the explosive plays. We leveraged the football well. We kept the ball inside of us today, and because we did that, the only explosive they had was the one catch Singleton made, which was a phenomenal catch. And if you force people to earn it, we've got a shot to do some things.
Coach all the way in the back.
Coach Darryl Bruffett.
Hi, Darryl.
I wanted to ask you a question about Torian York and just his leadership and what he meant to that defensive push that you guys had today.
Yeah, I mean, his leadership is elite. He's an elite player. He's a special one. We're really glad we have him. But what he does to command that defense all week, in meetings, on the practice field, in walkthroughs, during the game, he's a special kid. And I've said it multiple times, like, we're going to look back on him and really wished we cherished him, because they don't come along like that very often. He's a unique player, and we're really glad we got him in the middle of our defense.
Coach to the left, third row.
Coach, can you just talk a little bit about starting 1-0 in this conference, this very competitive conference, and what it means to help push your team forward?
Yeah, I think anytime you're 1-0, it's definitely better than being 0-1. I don't know how else to answer that. Yeah, it means a lot. We've got to hold serve at home. We've got to find ways to win games at home. This was a big one. I think we all knew how talented Auburn was. Auburn was a team that had a chance to crack this thing this year. Certainly felt like they made the plays they needed to make last week to give Oklahoma all that they could, and you knew they were going to come in here hungry with their backs against the wall to go out and get a win. And for us to bow up and play the way we did and get the win that we got, I thought that was really good.
Coach to the right, Carter.
You mentioned only one explosive play, 0 of 13 on third down. Is this what this defense should look like when it's playing at its best, or do you think there's even another level that they can reach?
No, that's pretty high, Carter. No, I'm not sure if we can let 176 yards be the standard that we're shooting for in the modern era. But we played well. I think this is what I think, and this is what we talk a lot about behind the building is. like we have to force teams to make plays. Like if teams in this league are going to make plays to some degree, right? You know, Singleton's going to go up and make a great catch, right? And things like that will happen. That's the level of football we're playing. We have to force that to be how people have success. It can't be that we bust a wheel route. It can't be that they hit us on a flea flicker. They can't, like, we can't, that can't be how people get plays on us. They have to get them because they make plays. And if we can play defense that way, we have enough talent that we'll make our fair share of plays. They'll certainly make some, and at the end of that, we should win that ledger. It's when you start throwing in all of the add-ons and the extras, that's been the first 3 games, that's where we're not going to be what we want to be or what we're capable of being.
Coach to the left, 4th row.
So comparing the Aggie defense that came out for the UTSA game to now the one that came out today on Cal Field, what do you think that those biggest improvements have been? And then looking forward, do you foresee anything that you're going to have to work on with them as the season goes on?
Oh yeah, there's about 8 million things we got to work on. That'll always be the answer to that question. But I think they bought in today to being on the same page consistently throughout the game, to staying focused, to staying locked in, to committing to every single play, being dialed into doing their job. And if that sounds like coach speak, but it's really what it comes down to. If they can do that, they can be good. And if we can do that consistently, we have a shot to be a good defense.
Coach all the way in the back.
Coach, what does it say about your team after the big win on the road against Notre Dame? Everybody was singing the team's praises, but they did seem like they came out today pretty level-headed.
Yeah, I think that we understand what we're chasing. We understand what we're after. We understand how far away we are. And I worded to them this way yesterday. We talked about this yesterday. You know, we talk a lot about 4 quarters, obviously, with the game that we play. And so the season breaks down into 4 quarters. And so we went 3-0 in the first quarter. And you can't ever win a football game in the first quarter. You can certainly go out and lose one, but you can't ever go out and win one. And so all we did was win the first quarter. And now you head into this middle part of the season. And this is where seasons get defined. This is where consistency is going to be critical. This is where our ability to go to work every single week and bring the right mindset and bring the right mentality to the game every single week is going to matter. Those are the things that are going to be important. And then figuring out a way to make sure the scoreboard stays in our favor. And we did that today, and we're a 4-0 team, and we're 1-0 in the SEC. And those are things we're going to relish. We'll always relish those things. We act sometimes around here like those things happen all the time, and they just don't. And so we're going to cherish the upward trajectory of the program while we're trying to clean up everything that we need to clean up.
Coach, one last question, Tony.
Coach, obviously the most complete defensive effort of the year, 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Was there anything tangible or anything that stood out in this preparation that kind of clicked with the unit to kind of get that performance we saw today?
Yeah, honestly, no, we really didn't take 2 weeks. We probably did as coaches, but like we really spent the bye week focusing on ourselves because we felt like there were so many things we needed to just clean up within our own game and just with what we were doing. And so we really didn't go out there and we put in 2 weeks of Auburn practice. We didn't run one rep of Auburn offense last week. We just felt like we had to focus on playing our game, playing our defense, playing it the way we know how. And so maybe from a coaching perspective, but I just think I said this in the beginning of the week that I felt like their offensive line would have a chip on our shoulder. What I failed to mention to you was our defense was going to have a chip on their shoulder too. And I think that's probably a little bit more what caused that than the 2 weeks to prepare.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, guys.